Chosen one. This moment is not coincidence, it's divine timing. Heaven itself has interrupted your day to deliver a message sealed with your name on it. You didn't stumble upon this video by chance. You were led here by the same unseen hand that's been guiding your steps through every heartbreak, every betrayal, every lonely night you thought no one saw. You've been through the fire, chosen one, but the fire was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal what was hidden in you. Gold refined, purpose awakened, power released. The pain they caused wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The rejection that tried to break you was the very thing that redirected you toward destiny. The Spirit is saying, the investigation isn't against you, it's for you. What was meant for your downfall has become the evidence of your divine protection. Heaven is not blind, and justice is now in motion. You're standing at the threshold of a supernatural turnaround, a divine wealth transfer, a restoration that will leave even your enemies speechless. So, take a breath, lift your head. The storm that exposed you is the same storm that's about to elevate you. Chosen one. The heavens are stirring because the season of silent endurance is over. What once broke you is now being broken on your behalf. This is not coincidence, this is divine reversal in motion. You may not see every detail yet, but heaven has been gathering evidence, and justice is unfolding in real time. The same voices that mocked you will soon whisper your name in awe, because what's being exposed now is not just betrayal, it's the unveiling of God's precision. You were not buried by pain, chosen one. You were planted for purpose. What looked like loss was alignment. What felt like isolation was incubation. Every tear you cried, every night you stayed awake asking, why me? Heaven was listening. And now, that pain has ripened into prophetic proof. Those who tried to bury you underestimated the soil. They didn't realize that when God allows a seed to go underground, He's not ending it, He's multiplying it. You see, betrayal didn't disqualify you, it promoted you, it pulled you out of counterfeit connections so that divine ones could find you. The spiritual warfare you endured wasn't a sign of weakness, it was evidence of your assignment, because only the chosen are attacked at that level. Only the anointed draw that kind of opposition. The enemy never fights what he isn't threatened by, and he feared you before you even knew your own power. Now, look around. Can you feel it? The atmosphere shifting. The same people who said you'd never rise are beginning to feel uneasy in your presence. They sense something has turned. It's not revenge, it's realignment. The energy that once surrounded your betrayal has been reversed. Every plot they used against you is now circling back to teach them the cost of touching what's sacred. This is what the Spirit calls divine justice. Chosen one, hear this clearly. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural transfer, not just of wealth, but of power, of peace, of position. Everything that was stolen, your reputation, your stability, your joy, heaven is returning it sevenfold. You are stepping into your Kairos moment, the appointed time when everything begins to make sense. The pain wasn't random, it was the setup for your rise. Think back on those silent seasons when nothing seemed to move. You thought God forgot you, didn't you? But He was rearranging the battlefield. He was allowing time for the truth to expose itself. Because divine timing doesn't rush, it perfects. And now, the same Spirit that carried Joseph from the pit to the palace is breathing over your situation. The pit didn't kill you because it wasn't your end, it was your evidence. So, do not look back with regret. What betrayed you was simply the door that locked behind your destiny. The same ex who mocked your faith, who laughed at your peace, who tried to sabotage your light, they've become the mirror through which justice will be revealed. They thought they escaped the consequences, but heaven has already written the verdict. The one who tried to destroy you will become the proof that God was with you all along. Chosen one, lift your head. The investigation is not your punishment, it's your vindication. Every whisper against you is being rewritten as testimony. Every attack is being transformed into evidence. And what's coming next will not only clear your name, it will confirm your calling. This is your season of holy exposure, not for shame, but for glory. The tables are turning. Heaven has declared it. Chosen one. The heavens have begun to whisper, and what was once hidden is now unfolding in plain sight. You are not imagining the shift. The atmosphere around you is testifying. The truth is speaking on your behalf, even in rooms where your name was once slandered. What they tried to bury has become a living witness. You may have felt forgotten, but the Spirit has been documenting every moment in silence. Heaven doesn't miss details. It records everything. The same lips that lied about you are now trembling under the weight of their own deception. The same hands that threw stones are now exposed by the very dirt they tried to cover you with. What you see now isn't revenge, it's revelation. Every false word they spoke is turning into evidence that confirms your integrity. Every trap they set has become a testimony of your endurance. Because when a chosen one stays silent in faith, heaven starts to speak through consequence. You see, lies travel fast, but truth arrives with power, and the truth never knocks politely. It breaks the door open. What they called gossip, heaven called documentation. What they labeled drama, heaven labeled divine exposure. Every false narrative they crafted around you is collapsing like a house of cards, because the foundation was never truth, it was fear. Chosen one, your name is being cleared not by your words, but by your fruit. You don't need to prove anything. The evidence is already testifying. The peace you carry now is proof that heaven's court has ruled in your favor. Their manipulation may have worked in the shadows, but divine light always exposes what darkness tries to hide. You are being vindicated without lifting a finger. There's a reason your spirit feels lighter lately, even when you can't explain why. It's because justice is active. The weight that once crushed your chest is being lifted, not by your effort, but by divine intervention. This is the spiritual law in motion, for nothing is hidden that will not be revealed. Heaven is not punishing them, it's correcting the imbalance. The same people who once believed their version of your story are beginning to see cracks. They're noticing inconsistencies. They're feeling the unease of truth rising. And even though you haven't said a word, your silence is speaking volumes. That's the power of divine vindication. It doesn't need an audience, just timing. So, chosen one, stand still. You don't need to fight to be believed. The same Spirit that raised you from despair is now revealing what was done in deception. You are not the victim of betrayal. You are the vessel of divine proof. And while they're scrambling to rewrite history, heaven is releasing the official record. Every lie now becomes a seed of exposure. Every accusation becomes a doorway for your promotion. You are stepping into the part of your journey where heaven's evidence speaks louder than any defense you could ever give. This is not the end of your story, it's the unveiling of your truth, chosen one. The fire that once surrounded you was never meant to destroy it, was meant to refine. What looked like chaos was actually cleansing. What you called breakdown was heaven's breakthrough. The fire that burned through your peace was heaven, burning away everything that could no longer go with you. And now, that same fire is moving through your enemy's camp, not as punishment, but as proof. The Spirit says, the fire that tested you is the same fire exposing them. Every false word, every hidden motive, every dark alliance, it's all being illuminated. Those who mocked your process will now witness your prophecy, because while they played with deception, you walked through purification, and now the difference is clear. Their flame destroys, but yours purifies. Do you remember the nights when you cried out, asking why everything you touched seemed to burn down? It wasn't destruction, it was transformation. The old version of you couldn't carry this level of glory. The anointing you walk in now required everything that left. It required betrayal. It required the pain. It required you to be misunderstood, so heaven could separate the counterfeit from the authentic. Chosen one, you're not rising from the ashes, you're ruling from them. What was meant to be your grave has become your ground for growth. The very fire that tried to consume you has now forged a crown of gold upon your head, and the same people who fanned those flames are now choking on the smoke of their own doing. They can't hide anymore. The heat of truth is too close, and it's turning every secret into a spotlight. But this part, this is sacred. Don't gloat, don't seek revenge, just watch. Because heaven is handling what you couldn't. The fire is not your weapon, it's your witness. When they see you glowing, when they see peace on your face, after all that was meant to destroy you, they'll know this wasn't luck. It was the hand of God. You were never fighting flesh and blood. You were fighting systems, spirits, and cycles designed to keep you bound. That's why the battle felt so spiritual, because it was. But now, chosen one, the war is over. The enemy's fire is out, and yours burns brighter. You've become the light that exposes every shadow. And here's what's beautiful, that glow they now see on you. It's not revenge, it's revelation. It's the reflection of everything you survived. The fire purified your spirit, sharpened your discernment, and reactivated your calling. That's why new doors are opening and unexpected blessings are finding you. The heavens recognize your endurance. The earth is responding to your obedience. So, don't fear the flames anymore. Walk in them. Let them remind you of how far you've come. You didn't escape the fire, you mastered it. You've become untouchable, unshaken, and unstoppable. And while they burn in the heat of consequence, you rise in the light of confirmation. The fire that once broke you has now crowned you. This is not karma, this is kingdom correction. Chosen one, the battle they waged against you was never about you, it was about what you carry. They saw your light and mistook it for weakness. They confused your kindness for naivety. But what they didn't understand is that your silence was never surrender. It was strategy. You weren't fighting them in the flesh, because heaven was already fighting for you in the spirit. They declared war thinking you would break. They underestimated how dangerous a peaceful soul can be when backed by divine protection. While they threw words like weapons, heaven raised a shield around your name. While they schemed behind your back, the Spirit was rewriting your future. The very energy they used to destroy you became the wind that lifted you higher. Chosen one, the war they started was spiritual. You felt it, the sudden heaviness in your chest, the restless nights, the confusion that came from nowhere. It wasn't anxiety, it was warfare. They sent out words like arrows, hoping to pierce your peace. But what they forgot is that you are sealed, you are marked, you are covered. And what's an arrow to someone wearing the armor of destiny? Do you remember how tired you felt? How you almost gave up because the attacks didn't stop? That exhaustion wasn't weakness, it was spiritual resistance. You weren't losing energy, you were carrying weight, divine weight. The kind of weight that only those chosen for greatness can endure. And even when you didn't see it, heaven was recording every blow, every insult, every false accusation, not to punish, but to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Now, the war is over, and peace has taken its rightful place. But this peace isn't ordinary, it's prophetic. It's the kind of peace that silences storm. The kind that makes those who once fought you wonder why nothing they do can shake you anymore. That's not just emotional maturity, that's divine immunity. They waged war for attention. You won peace through surrender. They fought to be seen. You let God make you known. They threw chaos your way, but heaven turned it into clarity. Because you don't win a war by matching your enemy's rage. You win by staying aligned with divine order. Chosen one, you are the evidence that peace is the most dangerous weapon in the kingdom. It disarms everything. When you refused to retaliate, heaven moved. When you let go, justice took over. Your restraint triggered divine intervention. And now, those who once thrived on your reaction are starving for it because you've stopped feeding their darkness with your light. Listen closely. This is why peace feels strange right now. You're not used to it yet. After years of being in fight mode, your spirit is relearning stillness. But that's what elevation feels like: calm after chaos, silence after shouting, balance after battles. You didn't just survive the war, chosen one. You won it. And your victory didn't come through revenge, it came through revelation. You realized that what was attacking you was never stronger than what was protecting you. So, breathe, you are free. The war they started has become the peace you now carry. Let them wonder how you recovered so quickly. Let them whisper about your glow. You don't owe explanations, only gratitude. Because this peace you're walking in now, it's not luck, it's the sound of heaven declaring, "It is finished." Chosen one, every manipulator fears one thing above all else: losing control. They don't crave love, they crave power. They don't want connection, they want compliance. And when you finally stopped responding, when you withdrew your energy, that's when their kingdom began to crumble. Because the moment a chosen one takes back their power, every counterfeit throne collapses. They tried to rule through confusion, didn't they? Gaslighting you until you questioned your own truth, turning your compassion into a weapon against yourself, convincing you that peace meant submission. But what they didn't realize is that you were never weak, you were merciful. You weren't lost, you were loyal. And heaven took note of every time you chose grace over vengeance, silence over reaction, and forgiveness over retaliation. Now, that mercy has turned into movement. The same energy they drained from you is being restored in double portion. You're not the same person who once tolerated chaos to keep the peace. You've matured spiritually, emotionally, and prophetically. You no longer chase validation, you carry revelation. And revelation is more dangerous to your enemies than any confrontation could ever be. Chosen one, you've stepped out of their illusion. That's why they're panicking. Their power was built on your confusion. Their control relied on your silence. But now, your clarity has become their exposure. You can see through what once deceived you. You can feel the manipulation before it even arrives. That's discernment, the divine gift that's born from betrayal. The Spirit of the Lord says, "I allowed them to control you for a time, not to break you, but to teach you boundaries that no man can cross again." You had to experience control to understand freedom. You had to feel the weight of manipulation to recognize the power of truth, because you can't walk in authority without first surviving abuse of it. And now, chosen one, look what's happening. Their influence is fading. Their charm no longer hypnotizes. The doors they once opened through deception are closing shut. They're losing the audience that once clapped for their lies because the vibration of truth has changed the atmosphere. They don't understand why their usual tactics no longer work, but you do. It's because they lost access to your energy. Your peace was their power source. Your compassion was their disguise. But now they're left in the darkness of their own control. Every manipulation they use to maintain dominance is backfiring. Every secret plan they formed in pride is dissolving under exposure. They can't fake stability anymore because the Spirit has withdrawn the covering they once stole through you. You are walking in freedom, not just emotional, but spiritual. The cords that once bound your mind are breaking. You're breathing differently, thinking differently, seeing differently. Because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And that liberty is not quiet, it's radiant. People can see it in your eyes, hear it in your tone, feel it in your presence. You're no longer a mirror for their insecurity. You're a reflection of divine confidence. Every step you take now echoes authority. Every word you speak carries power. You've become the living proof that deliverance is not always loud. Sometimes it's the calm after walking away. Chosen one, the power struggle is over. They didn't just lose control over you, they lost control of the narrative. You don't need to justify the shift. The fruit will speak for itself. The more you rise, the smaller their influence become. So walk free, walk tall, walk in the authority of someone who knows they were rescued by design, not by luck. The chains that once defined you are now your testimony. Because this is your new reality. They fell, trying to control you, and you rose by surrendering to God. Chosen one, the universe has laws unspoken, yet unbreakable. What you release always returns, multiplied. And right now, heaven is enforcing that law on your behalf. Every word they spoke against you, every deceitful act, every seed of confusion, it's coming back to them with divine precision. This isn't revenge, this is balance. What they sent your way has circled back, and now the energy they once weaponized is demanding repayment. They thought they could throw darkness and walk away untouched, but darkness always recognizes its sender. The same lies they used to entangle others are now tightening around their own feet. They can't sleep because the echoes of their actions are louder than their excuses. The guilt they tried to bury is clawing its way to the surface. They're being haunted not by you, but by the vibration of their own choices. You didn't need to lift a finger, chosen one. You didn't have to expose them, argue with them, or prove yourself. The moment you released them in peace, heaven picked up the case. Every act of surrender became a spiritual subpoena. Every moment of restraint was recorded as evidence. And now, the verdict is being carried out. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Listen closely, this is deeper than karma. This is divine reciprocity. The same doors they slammed in your face are closing on theirs. The same people they used are now pulling away. Opportunities are drying up. Their name carries weight, but not in the way it once did. There's a heaviness following them, not a curse, but consequence. Because when you interfere with what heaven is anointing, the energy you release becomes the lesson you must live. Chosen one, don't be surprised when you start hearing their name again. Not in gossip, but in revelation. You'll hear about things falling apart for them, sudden setbacks, unexpected exposure, and your spirit will know it's the boomerang effect. You see, heaven doesn't rush to punish. It waits until every detail is perfectly aligned, until the lesson will pierce the heart deep enough to transform or dismantle. But here, this do not rejoice in their downfall. The Spirit says, keep your heart clean, because your assignment was never revenge, it was revelation. You were meant to demonstrate what divine elevation looks like. That's why the light on you burns brighter the darker their life becomes. You've become a mirror of what obedience produces, while they reflect what deception destroys. This season is called the Great Return. Everything you lost is being restored. Finances, opportunities, relationships, peace. But it's not returning the same way it left. It's coming back refined. When you released bitterness, you opened the floodgates of divine compensation. The same hands that betrayed you became the instruments of your blessing. And now, chosen one, the energy of heaven is surrounding you. You're walking under open skies. The air feels lighter because the spiritual weight has shifted. Those who once laughed are now silent, watching, realizing this was never about you versus them. It was always about obedience versus ego, truth versus illusion. Every storm they sent became your training ground. Every attack became your awakening. And every word they used against you became the wind pushing you toward your promise. Chosen one, you don't need to chase justice. It's already chasing them. You don't need to seek closure. Heaven is writing the final chapter for you. Because in the divine order of things, everything and everyone eventually meets their own reflection. Chosen one, there is a sound louder than thunder, sharper than judgment, and heavier than revenge. It's the sound of guilt, echoing through a conscience that thought it could outrun truth. Your betrayer hears it now. It follows them in silence, like a shadow that won't lift. What once looked like peace on their face has turned into panic behind their eyes. The smile they wear is borrowed, the laughter forced. Guilt has a way of showing up uninvited, and it never leaves quietly. They thought silence would save them. They believed that by ghosting you, they could erase the memory of what they did. But silence doesn't erase energy, it amplifies it. Every unspoken apology becomes a weight on the heart. Every lie left unconfessed becomes a whisper in the night. That's why they can't rest, can't focus, can't breathe without feeling the pull of consequence. They thought they walked away from you, but what they really did was walk into their own mirror. Chosen one, don't mistake their distance for peace, it's torment. They can't talk about what they did without their voice shaking. They can't look at those who remind them of you without their soul flinching. They scroll through life pretending they've moved on, but every victory feels empty, every smile feels fake, because guilt has stolen their joy. You were never the punishment, you were the protection they rejected. And now that protection has lifted, leaving them exposed to the very weight you once shielded them from. Heaven is poetic that way. God doesn't need to strike thunder to deliver justice. Sometimes he just lets the sound of conscience do the work. Remember this truth. You never needed to curse them, because your forgiveness already convicted them. Your silence was the sentence. Your peace was the verdict. The Spirit of truth doesn't forget, it just waits for the right moment to speak. And now, it's speaking loudly through sleepless nights, restless thoughts, and hollow victories. You may not see it, but they replay the moments, the things they said, the things they did, the betrayal they tried to justify. They see your face in their memory, not as a victim, but as the one they wronged and can't escape. It's not nostalgia, it's divine recall. Because when you harm someone heaven has anointed, you don't get to choose when the reminder fades. Chosen one, hear me, don't look back. Don't wonder if they miss you. They don't miss you, they miss the peace that followed you. You were their calm in the storm, their unseen covering, the soft presence that made their chaos bearable. And now that you're gone, the silence they once celebrated has turned into noise that won't stop screaming. But this is not your concern anymore. Your healing is your focus. Their guilt is their classroom. Let heaven finish what it started. The same voice that comforted you in your pain is the same voice confronting them in theirs. And while they hide from truth, you'll continue to rise in it. Chosen one, this is the difference between you and them. Your silence builds peace, theirs builds torment. You healed by surrendering, they're breaking by suppressing. You moved forward through light, they're sinking under shadow. This is the great separation, not of people, but of vibration. Chosen one, this is the part heaven had written all along, the exchange, the divine reversal, the season where everything you lost in pain is restored in power. You didn't walk through betrayal for nothing. Every tear, every sleepless night, every prayer whispered through exhaustion was currency, and now heaven is ready to cash it in. The Spirit says, for every season of loss, I will release double. You've endured the subtraction, now comes multiplication. What they took from you emotionally, heaven is returning spiritually, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You thought you were being emptied, but you were being cleared. Cleared of false attachments, cleared of spiritual parasites, cleared of everything that could not carry your blessing. They thought they broke you, but all they did was make room for God to build something unbreakable. The relationships that fell apart were not endings, they were divine filters. Heaven removed what your heart would have kept. That's why you had to lose them, chosen one. You couldn't step into this level of calling with contaminated company. Your destiny required distance. And now you stand on holy ground, not because it's comfortable, but because it's consecrated. You didn't just survive betrayal, you graduated from it. You've proven to heaven that you can handle power without becoming prideful, wealth without becoming wasteful, favor without forgetting who carried you through the valley. That's why you're next in line for supernatural transfer. This isn't about revenge anymore. It's about redemption. Heaven is restoring your name, your finances, your confidence, and your peace. Every area that once felt barren is about to bloom. Opportunities are aligning that you didn't chase. Connections are forming that you didn't force. Doors are opening that no man can close, because this time they're not opened by hands, they're opened by heaven. Chosen one, your story is becoming proof of prophecy. Those who watched your breakdown are about to witness your breakthrough. They'll ask, "How did you recover?" And your answer will be simple: I didn't recover, I resurrected. Because what rises after being buried by betrayal is no longer fragile, it's divine. The same people who tried to take your voice will now have to hear it. The same ones who mocked your faith will have to watch it manifest. You've entered the season of divine exchange, where every wound becomes wisdom, every loss becomes leverage, and every delay becomes design. And here's what's coming next: a wealth transfer unlike anything you've seen before. Not just material wealth, but spiritual inheritance, influence, authority, legacy. You're not just being blessed, you're being established. The ground beneath you has shifted. This is your Kairos moment, your appointed hour. So lift your eyes, chosen one. Heaven is not asking you to chase what left. It's calling you to receive what's coming. You have completed the circle: betrayal, breaking, burning, and now becoming. This is your confirmation. What left your life in pieces is returning in purpose. The exchange has already begun. And when you wake tomorrow, you won't just be the healed version of who you were. You'll be the crowned version heaven always intended you to be. The energy of guilt cannot coexist with the presence of grace, and you, chosen one, are walking in grace now. That's why you're free. That's why you glow differently. Because where guilt stays, grace cannot. And where grace reigns, guilt cannot follow. Chosen one, the Spirit is saying this moment is holy. What you've just heard was not coincidence, it was confirmation. Heaven is aligning every detail, every delay, every closed door to move you into your divine position. The investigation against those who wronged you is not punishment, it's purification. While they face the weight of their actions, you are stepping into the weight of glory. You are no longer standing in survival. You are standing in sovereignty. The tables have turned, and the favor of God has found your name again. What was once taken from you is returning, purified, multiplied, and carrying divine purpose. The shift is already happening in the unseen. This is your Kairos moment, your appointed hour, where justice meets blessing, and peace replaces pain. Chosen one, lift your head, breathe deeply. You have endured the furnace, and now you carry the flame. Walk forward with confidence, not in your strength, but in heaven's orchestration. You are covered, favored, and seen. The same Spirit that sustained you in the valley is now crowning you on the mountain. If this word resonated in your spirit, let heaven hear your agreement. Write 777 in the comments as a prophetic declaration that you are ready for what's next. Stay anchored, stay faithful, stay chosen, because this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your rise.